You know, if I push that button, it might actually help. So, g'day, folks. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good one. Not sure what's happening today, but anyway, that's all right. There we go. We've got some stuff going on. So, I had these grand plans to show you all these community scenarios. Well, let's just say it hasn't worked out that well because while they're there, I haven't been able to get them to work. Oh well, life's like that. Hopefully, audio's okay. Hopefully, some audience will turn up. All good. So, there's been an update. So, let's have a look. Oh, that's not very loud, is it? It's better. Let's get rid of that one. Sorry, I'm just messing with my audio settings. All right, there we go. That'll look good. So, we are going to have a look at the little updates first up. We're going to have a look at the 6P first up, the Jubilee. And I'm going to run the Jubilee in a nice lined black livery that's come from the community. And we're going to run the 611 Chester to Liverpool Lime Street so that we can listen to the update, because the update is all about track sounds. Now, we did have track sounds before, despite the insistence of a few interesting, gifted individuals that said that there were none, but there certainly were some. Let's get our doors open. Just make sure they opened up. They did. Good. Small ejector is open. Sand is fine. Let's just check our water. Oops. I want to check the water. All right. There we go. We have our firing person over there. We've got plenty of steam. Brakes are on. Cylinder cocks are open. Let's get our reverser all the way forwards. And that loud safety valve. That was turned down in my ears, but I will keep pushing it out. That's okay. All good. Hope people are good this happy Sunday morning. Loading. So let's look at this livery that someone's put together. It's quite cool. Reminds me a lot of a Hornby locomotive I have, actually. We have to wait till 6:14. That's a little while away. Why don't we explore then? So we might actually... I don't know if there's any collectibles at this particular station. Let's go have a look. We can put our head codes on while we're here too. If I remember what they are, let me just quickly look them up. That's a bit embarrassing. I didn't have it open. A bit embarrassing indeed. And today, we're meant to be getting away an Xbox key too, but interest in it has been a little bit low, to be honest. So, there is a winner. There's definitely a winner. But interest in the Xbox key has been a little low. But I'll tell you who the winner is at the end of the stream, and congratulations to you. So we only got the one entry, which is a little bit of a surprise. But that's okay. Fantastic stuff. Well, fantastic stuff that we got a winner. Now I'm just trying to find my head codes, because I made a little document on head codes. There they are. Because I want to put the right ones on. So we are a ordinary passenger. There we go. Ordinary passenger. Well, it's already got one. Look at that. Well, it's right. So we've still got another 25 seconds. We'll explore a little bit around this station. Some dancing posters. More twinsies. There's always lots of twinsies. I think they're new. I don't think they used to be there. There certainly has been a little bit of dressing up of the stations with the update, I detect. Quite nice. No guards van on the back. I would have thought it'd be a guards van, but it's first class. Oop, better get in the cab. If it'll let me. There we go. Doors closed. Alright, Brakes are off. We can open the large ejector to help that pump quicker, and let's just get a bit of steam going. And let's hop outside and watch it depart. You can see the steam ejector in 2 of the cylinders. We should see the other one shortly. There we go, now we get 3. Alright, let's close the cocks. And hopefully soon that safety valve will shut up. Bring our regulator back a bit. Sorry, our reverser. There we go. This livery's pretty cool. I really like it. The other thing I like is that the weathering seems to show through the liveries that people make, which is really good. I think that's the first time that's happened. Coming across the Runcorn Viaduct. Will we see the transporter bridge working today? Do you know, I've never seen it move anywhere except Matt's stream. And I have to admit, even he seemed vaguely surprised by it. So I don't think it moves very often. Building up a nice bit of speed here for our run down to Liverpool. And you can definitely hear the first update. Track joint sounds. My ear actually suggests they're probably a little too prominent now, but that'll make people happy. And that's what the important thing is. Starting to head downhill now, so I'll bring the steam back down. The safety valve. I did manage to set off mine yesterday while firing Puffing Billy, because I foolishly put on fire while we went down the big long hill. But it had nothing to do with the steam, because my driver didn't want it. I made it about 5 minutes earlier than he needed it. Oh well. Next time I won't do that. And they really are loud. We've got a good speed now. We're about the mid-40s, I would suggest. Jump in the cab. I left the ejector open. Don't need to have that open. Lots of pressure. So we're heading for Ditton Junction, which I can see just up ahead. And let me open this window to make it easier to see the signals. And we have a proceed into Ditton Junction. Hello, NJT. How are you? I was saying a little bit earlier, NJT, before you joined, that I've had some trouble getting them to work. I have a faint suspicion, just trying to stop here for Ditton Junction, because I am going pretty quick. It's the problem with trying to run HUD-free. It's very hard to tell how fast you're going. But I'm going pretty quick. But I had some trouble getting them to work. Now, I don't know if they have liveries that I need that I don't have or something like that, but there's no feedback, but they just don't turn up on the routes that they're meant to do for. And this is a recent thing. Oops, I'm going to be stopping the tad early. That's no good. Good driver I am. Not. Oops. Stop that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm running just 2 services in the game. Yeah, I did, and they don't have any description for liveries that they need. And I actually thought that when you didn't have a livery, the scenario still worked anyway. It just worked with the default liveries. But it seems... Oh, I definitely have the required DLC. I have them all. Just saying. Hello, Human 001. You found my Metro North Railroad very useful and just like to thank you. Well, thank you very much for saying. Certainly appreciate that. Let's get our doors open. So what I'm going to do instead, NJTE, is I'm going to create a scenario that we'll put on Creators Club. And then I'll get hold of the back-end people and see what's changed. Yeah, that's really good, NJT. It's really important. Good on you for doing that. But we are playing with some community liveries, and we'll see some more community liveries as we progress through here, I think. We should anyway, because I've got quite a few of them downloaded. So hopefully they'll work. We are loading up our passengers here at Ditton Junction, which is quite a nicely modelled station. Let's go have a quick look while we wait. I particularly like the lights here at night time at Ditton. They work really nicely. Hello, people. You drone you. Yes, they're all the same height. There's no tall ones, no fat ones, no skinny ones. Oh well. They're just all the same. A message that my chat was disconnected for a little while, so if any of you sent something that I haven't responded to, please let me know, because that's probably why. Yeah, that's important, NJT, because not only is it making it really clear what people need to get, it's also making it, what's the best way to put it, attribution for the hard work of other people. There we go, there's a better angle. Because people put a lot of effort into their liveries and their scenarios. It's always worth calling them out. Goodbye, Ditton Junction. Heading for Allerton now. Oh, let's go flat neck. Let's give our firemen that shits. Let's use all their steam. Shovel mightily, person. I spent the whole day yesterday firing one of the 262 Prairie locomotives at Pottenbilly Railway. It's the first time I've done it. I think I worked out that I did it in 2008. And it's the first time I've done it in a long time. And it was not mistake-free. Definitely not. But we got there, and we got back, and we got there again, and we got back again. So I was actually quite happy with the day. Because we didn't have any massive disasters. We had water all the time, which is really important. Water is actually more important than steam. Because if you haven't got water, you get bang. That's bad. We're about to fly through the abandoned station. Hello, Richie Peach. How are you? Let's sit up here. Watch up here for a while. Shouldn't hit so many things. And even though there couldn't be anybody here because this is a closed station, we'll whistle anyway. And Crazy Killer said, looks like the stream started buffering as you joined. Well, hopefully it's good now. I don't have any dropped frames, so OBS isn't complaining. My ISP did do some maintenance last night as the network went offline at about midnight. And NJT is going to create one more scenario before he takes a break from Creators Club content. It's going to be a late night run on the LIRR, which is special because you have a short turn at a station. That sounds good. That sounds interesting, NJT. But do you guys know that you can actually share links to scenarios and liveries now? If you go to Creators Club on the Dovetail website, you can get to them from there. Regulator back a bit. We have another proceed. So just while I'm doing that, let me just jump onto the web and let me try and find. Can't remember how this works. It's live. There we go. And I'll bring it over onto this screen when I find what I'm looking for. You'd think I'd bookmark it because that would be smart, but I haven't. Richie Peach loves the route but can't quite fathom the locos. Well, if there's anything you need to know, I'm happy to walk you through it. And Crazy Killer says he hopes they sort out Spirit of Steam livery stuff. I'd like to see some more custom liveries in timetable mode. And Chicago says hello. Chicago thought I was ignoring him yesterday, but no, I was actually working on a trade for 11 straight hours. Yes, NJT, the deniers. Interesting people. Right, let's roll fan shots, that's not what I want. I want Creators Club. Creators Club, there it is. Hopefully this will load up. Another abandoned station, 1.7 miles to Allerton. Yeah, so I'll just let this website load because it's still chewing away in the background here. It does suggest I'm kind of having some bandwidth problems right now, but I'm not getting any drop frames, so let me know if it looks terrible or anything. I think I should probably start braking just a little bit. Because if I don't, we're not going to stop in time for Allerton because I'm doing 60 miles an hour, I feel. Ah, here we go. So if you go to the Creators Club website, which is creatorsclub.dovetailgames.com, you can just click on any one of these at random. Hopefully it'll open. Well, I'll bring it back when it does. But they do open. Oh, there we go. It has opened. You can share this link. So if you want to send off your scenarios or your liveries to other people, you can give them that link and they can subscribe to it via the web. And then it turns up in their game. And NJT says he's got to clear up some space on his console so he can take more railfan shots. I suppose that is the one useful thing. I'm just going to try and use a bit of steam even though I don't need it. Just to try and shut the safety valve up. That is the one useful thing about PCs. If you run out of storage, just put more in it. And Richie Peach says he's seen me only get about 10 miles an hour and going uphill coming out of Liverpool Lime Street is almost impossible for me. Alright, so after we have arrived at Liverpool Lime Street, which is where we're going, we will do a run out of Liverpool Lime Street. I'll show you how I do it. You won't get up a lot of speed, but you should get up a lot more than 10 miles an hour. I've just closed the large ejector because I want the brakes to have more effect. And if we pop back into the cab, we can see that they in fact are, yep, the vacuum. I suppose you saw the vacuum is being destroyed is probably the best way to say that, isn't it? Let's give it lots of brakes now. Let's put everybody's coffee on the floor and ruffle their newspapers. And even if we do roll through, we have a proceed on the signal up there, but we're going to be fine. and a fun little chuff at the end there. Can I search GX387-1 real quick? I suppose I can. If I can find that Chrome I had, there it is. And back to listings. And search. Actually, I want to get rid of the space, don't I? None! Let's try it with no space on the end. There you go. There's one. Is this yours? Let's have a look. NJTE. How about that? There you go. So, here's a link to your own one there. All good. And let's lock our doors. Reverse her back to full forwards. Open the ejector, release the brakes, open the cylinder cocks, and let's get moving. I've got all that steam, mate. What do you reckon that comes out of there? Well, I don't know. Alright, now that we're moving, we start bringing our reverser back. Bring it back to about 50 odd. There we go. Oh, nothing wrong with this shameless plug-in JTE. So, yes, there are copies everywhere, Chicago. I think that probably is after that braking effort. And I should probably turn around and watch where I'm going, because I'm running HUD free, which means I don't know the signals unless I watch. So be a bit careful, a bit more regulator. Bring the reverser back into the 30s now, that'll do fine. But I do have to ask Chicago, the newspapers are wet, hot and dry. How do you get both? Just say it. Ooh, there's a messy backyard with a big pile of shit in it. Must have knocked down their shed or something. Yeah, building up some more speed on our way to West Allerton. So how are people enjoying Spirit of Steam? And I am giving away an Xbox key today. Let me just check. I have a single entry. So I don't even have to decide who wins it. And I'm kind of surprised I only have a single entry, to be honest. But that's okay. I don't mind. I will reveal who the winner is at the end of the stream. Congratulations to them. The ejector closed so the brakes take effect. If you don't close the ejector, the brakes don't actually take effect very much. We have a proceed on the distant coming in here. That's the yellow signal in front of us. Just going to pump these brakes back up again a bit, or we're going to stop. And Crazy Killer says, loving it. NTP is a challenge for Steam with some interesting gradients. Yes. I took one up Sandpatch Grade, and that was interesting. I've also done Horseshoe. That takes a bit of going. You have to work quite hard to get up Horseshoe. Getting down the other side, you have to use drifting steam as well to... Is the back going to be in the platform? Yeah, I think it'll just make it. Some of the platforms you need to put the loco beyond them, or the back doors aren't in. Let's just go and see if they are in. No, they're not. Well, one of them is. Might be a big step though. Probably fall down if you jumped out of there. That's not very nice to our first class passengers, is it? Oh well. I think we might watch him depart from here. Why not? West Allerton's a nice little station, another one that looks very nice at night time. And if you're wondering why the lights are on, it's because it's 6:35 in the morning. And I was a little bit incredulous that the sun was up. I played some services at 4 a.m. and the sun was up, and I thought, is that right? So I actually checked, and it is. Well, there you go. In England, the sun comes up at 4 o'clock in the morning in summer. Yeah, I think so, Richie Pitch. I quite like it. And it's really worth looking around because there's interesting stuff around the place. So hunt around. Oh, these ones do go off, Crazy Killer. But they're not keyed to the sunlight, they're keyed to the time. Yeah, it's time for some chopping. I want to see if it comes through the stairs. Hey, it does. That's cool. Alright, we're moving, so we'll bring the reverser back into the 50s. And power up. Now we can bring our reverser back a little bit more. It was very interesting firing yesterday because between trying to relearn the black art, I was also watching how the driver drives. And making sure that my ideas of how drivers drive is relatively realistic. And I'm happy to say it is. And I have to say, yes, they are, Richie Peach. And I'm probably going to want to cut off soon for Mossley Hill. We're going to start braking for Mossley Hill. Not as dramatically as I did before. We have a green on the signal. And it's an absolute signal, this one, because it's red. It's a very interesting time in the 50s, so when you're relatively close to Liverpool, you will occasionally hear jet engines, because there's an airport. And I had to go searching to see if that would be realistic. I was thinking, should we really have jet engine sounds? Now, they're new since the update, aren't they? Having all this stuff sitting around in the sidings here. I like that. Makes things seem more busy. I really appreciate that. But I had to go and look, and there actually were British Airways Super Constellations and a couple of other jets in this time frame. So it's quite an anachronistic time that we've got 100-year-old technology and brand new technology operating together for the transport of people. We have a green on this signal, so if I roll through it to make sure all my trains are on the platform, that'll be fine. Alright, let's see how we did this time. I think the whole train's in the platform. Yes, look at that. How close does that get? A couple of extra meters. Ooh, I like the shadow from the light. You know, that shadow, that's actually worthy of one of these. Ah, I'll say at the end. How do I give an Xbox key? I send them an email with their key. How they add it, I have no idea. I don't have an Xbox. I don't know how to do it. But they'll be able to go to Dovetail support if they need help doing it. Or I'll Google it and send them some instructions, one or the other. Hello, people. Next week I'll be giving away a PlayStation key. Now, right now I've got a non-US PlayStation key. But if someone from the US wins it, that won't be a problem because I can trade it in. Whoops. Do you realise I opened the other doors instead of locking these ones? Because I'm clever. Alright, reverser all the way forward. Cylinder cocks open. Ejector. Brakes off. Whistle. And away we go. As soon as you're moving, you can bring your reverser back into the 50s. Kill the cocks. It's interesting how the steam under structures and things tends to reveal where the collision boxes are. And running steam on other routes, you start to see structures that don't have collision boxes, because the steam goes straight through them. Ah, cool, Richie Peach, thanks. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if these houses are heritage listed, Richie Peach, which means you probably can't change them. We have that concept, and I'm pretty sure we pinched it from the UK. Where if you've got a house that belongs to a certain area and it seems to be significant, you're not allowed to change things. There's a little bit of a stutter in the game then. Let's make up for it by using more steam. And we have Sefton Park very shortly. Hello, Kobe Sub. How are you? I'm well, thank you. I am very tired and my arms still hurt. And I have a mysterious loss of body hair where I got cooked by the fire. Because, you know, it's pretty hot. From firing yesterday. But that's okay. I had a great time. And a shout out to my trainers, Ryan and Lindsay, for being awesome. I have to remember to send a feedback email into the railway for making sure they know that these two guys are really, really good at training somebody. And I have to say, driving a pretend steam engine, so much easier than a real one. Pop goes the safety valve. Now that's not really all that realistic, because what the fireman would be doing at that point is putting some cold water into the boiler and cracking open their firebox door to get some secondary air to cool the boiler a little. Alright. There we go. Get our doors open. And going back into the cab, showing you what I'm doing. Get the reverser all the way back to full forwards. Ready to go. We'll get the cylinder cocks open. Don't really have to do much else. We've got our firing person firing away happily. Well, maybe it's time for her to look out the window. No, she's going to fire again. I really like having this animated character in the game. It's really good. They've done quite well in reasonably human motion. A little bit longer to wait. It's a little bit darker here at West Allerton than it was in the other places. Oh, that's because there's a building blocking the sun. That's cool. Every now and again, Unreal Engine surprises me in what it can do. Yeah, thanks, Kobe Sub. I did actually have a very fun day. I am very tired and my arms hurt a lot. But, yeah, it was good fun. Alright, let's take you back into the cab so you see what I do. So, open the ejector, release the brakes. We've already got the reverser all the way forwards. We've already got the cylinder cocks open, so let's give it a little bit of steam. And we should start moving. It's all about hurry up and wait with steam engines. Alright, we can bring our reverser back now because we're starting to move, so we'll bring it back into the 50s because we're on the flat. If you're going uphill, you don't bring it back that quickly because you need the power. The further in forward gear your reverser is, the more power. Now we can bring it back into the 30s to minimise our use of steam. Close the cocks. And we're going to Edge Hill, 1.3 miles. Does she still shovel air? There's a question. Is it time to watch out the window yet? No, it's time to shovel some more. Yep, still shovels air. And we have a proceed on that signal ahead. And we're going straight through this station. And NJT asks if one wins, do they email you and then you send it to them? No, I had a form linked to a post on the channel. So any entrants give me their email so I can contact them and send it to them. But if no one won, I would give the key back because the keys do definitely cost dovetail cash. Now we have a proceed on the distant, the yellow one, and a proceed on the main signal there, the red one. So that tells me we're green for a while. And I'm glad I remembered to go a bit slower there. I think I was still a bit quick. And we have a light engine 6P just hanging around doing nothing. And we have a red on the distant, and we have a green on the main signal. So that probably means the signals in Edge Hill will be red. So we'll start slowing down. I'm going to leave the ejector open for the moment because I don't want the brakes to have a lot of effect, just a little bit. You've got to be careful you don't put too much brake on because the steam brakes will make the carriages bunch up together and it'll be uncomfortable. It is very hard to see the signals. We've got another proceed on the main. And we are coming into the platform, so we can start braking. I've closed the ejector. Yes, NJT, a community post on this channel. I'll do the PlayStation key the same way. Now I'd suggest if you want to enter... It was last week. If you've already got the game on a console and you entered, you could always give the key to a friend if you wanted to. Just don't enter if you're not going to use the key at all, because I wouldn't want someone to miss out and someone else get it who's not going to use it. Coming into Edge Hill, which is right next to the giant freight yards. There's a coach shunting service, I think, from here as well. At least one. These glass windows in the top of the shed roofs have always fascinated me when you think about steam, because steam is dirty, very, very dirty. Yeah, let's bring you to a stop. You're going to happily roll straight through that signal, aren't you? No, maybe not. No, I don't think it quite went through it. Alright, let's get the doors open. And yeah, you should see the post. I think it was last week I put it up. And Crazy Killer has been caught out a few times by signals hid just around corners. Yes, that's why you watch the yellow ones. So let's just flip out of here and head back this way to our semaphores. So there's essentially
ignoring all the different kinds of semaphores, there's essentially two different kinds. There's the yellow ones and the red ones. Now, they look different in different parts of the route. We've already seen 3 different ones, I think. The red ones, that one is for now. So if you get one of those on your line, that means stop. If it's like this, if it's up or if it's a lower quadrant, so if it's at 45 degrees either up or down, it means go. The yellow ones, they mean soon. So it could be the next signal, it could be the one after it, it could be a warning for having to slow down for some points or a curve or something like that. So you might never see a red signal when you get one of these at stop, but when you see the yellow one like this, horizontal, that means to watch out because something's coming. And it's time to lock the doors. And Kobe's Hub finally picked up this route, playing almost all day. Finally, the wife loaned me some money after my Run 8 spending spree. I know the feeling with Run 8, mate. It gobbles the cash. But I have to say I don't play it that much anymore because, well, to be honest, I've become spoilt by the graphics in Train Sim World 2. And when I go back to Run 8, I think, it's not very nice. I do like the physics, and the sounds are excellent in Run 8. Let's get those cocks closed, get our reverser back, and we're heading into Liverpool now. Now this is where you have to have a little bit of fun. Hello CCT Mitch, how are you? Bye bye bright sunny world, we're going into the abyss. Now, I don't want to build up too much speed down here because it's downhill, and I'm only going to blow off all the way if I do. Chicago asks, why do steam locomotives always have wheel slip more than diesels? Even if it's a small amount of power through the steam chest. And HE, have you submitted submitted a form? Have you got an Xbox in JTE? I thought you had a PlayStation. And Farah says he joined just in time for a signal tutorial. No worries, mate. Welcome. Hope you're good. And Kobe's Hub says, agree TSW2 graphics-wise makes it hard at first, yeah. Now, let me just turn on the lamp, because we're starting to head downhill here, which means we're starting to speed up. So I'm going to do a fairly advanced technique, which means I am going to slightly go into reverse and give it some power. And that, in theory, should actually slow us down without having to brake. We'll see how this works. Now, you can't do it a lot. If you put it all the way into reverse gear, you will actually break things. But you can give it a little bit. And I did have a good day yesterday, yes, CCT Rich, thank you. Excellent fun. Very tired, still. Still quite badly dehydrated as well. I need to remember to drink more when I'm out on the road. But yeah, lots of fun. And I need more bananas. Ah, okay, NJT. Now you're going to have to make me decide. Shovel away. Even though we're coming into a terminus station, probably don't want you shoveling that much. So my speed has kept way down. 14A, Kobe's Hub. If you Google Puffing Billy 14A, you'll see it. So it's a 262 Prairie locomotive. It's essentially an Australian copy of the Baldwin Prairie. cruising into Liverpool and unfortunately blowing off, which means all the steam crud off the roof will now rain down onto our train and make it messy. Push our reverser a bit further forward so we actually get to the end. Did I have 12? Maybe I did. Maybe I'm misremembering. Hang on a tick. Let me look. Alright, let's get the doors open. Did I actually take any photos of it on the outside? There's a question. No, I didn't. What an idiot. Maybe it was. I'm trying to remember which one's the wood, which one's the coal burner and which one's the oil burner. Actually, yeah, 12's... Yeah, good question. I'll go get my book later. I'll have a look. One of them's an oil burner now, and I was not on that one. I was on the coal burner. You're not allowed on the oil burner until you've qualified on the coal burner. I'll have to get my book and have a look. Yes, I must have been on 12 then. Good pickup, mate. Good pickup. Actually, that makes it even better. Because 12's the one I've got a model of. You can't see it because of my background, but it's in the cupboard behind me. Alright, time to lock the doors. Now, I was going to run a freight one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a service out of Liverpool so that... who was it? Richie Peach, he's the one. Was the one who was having some trouble getting up the hill out of Liverpool. So let's just find a service. The Jubilee. I think we might run a pink one. Why not? This one is a little carefree. Liverpool, Lime Street, Chester. So we won't run... Oh, we might run the whole thing of this one. Why not? Liverpool, Euston to London, Euston. That's it. So... No, that's no good. That's from Crewe to Acton Bridge. That's the other way. So we'll run the start of this one. I won't run the whole thing, but I'll just show you how to get out of the station. Well, there's in Scenario Planner, you can now have the 8F with Mark 1s, but I don't know if you can have a Jubilee with goods, so we'll find out. All right, we have to go down the back, and we have to get rid of this one. Now, just for amusement value, if you uncouple this and recouple it, you get to steal it. Alright, let's get ourselves ready. Let's get our reverser all the way forwards. Cylinder cocks open. Get the brakes off. Dovetail. Brakes should be fully on when you're in the station. Let's check our gauges. They both come back up. Interestingly, in this, you can isolate them, but you can't do an independent test. But that's okay. All good. I'm glad you're not firing now, lady, because, you know. How funny is it to see some people on the forums getting so upset that there's lady firemen? I mean, get real. Okay, time to close the doors. Well, we have to wait until 5:55. Well, let's go exploring then. Let's open the doors up again. Time to explore. I haven't explored Liverpool much. Let's go see what we can find. Some crates. Don't look like any collectibles there. So a lot of people got off this train. Yeah, it's hard to navigate when there's this many of them without running into them. It's like they aim at you sometimes. Let's keep an eye on the time. We've got 1 more minute, and I'll flip back over there. I think I've done all the collectibles around here. I can't see any unfilled posters or anything. No, I think I've probably done them all. Chocolate. Yeah. 30 seconds. We're going to have to be naughty. There's only one way around this. Is there anything on the turntable up here? There's a lot of water down there, isn't there? Oh well, off we go. Hopefully we don't get run over. Oh, almost made it all the way across. Needs a jump key so you can jump platforms. But that's naughty, isn't it? Bread. Anyone hungry? So this is the livery. It's fairly well done. There's a few areas where the lining could have taken a bit more care, like up here. But it looks kind of nice. Alright, let me back in the cab. There we go. Lock the doors. Now we have to run up the hill. So we should be all set to go. Let's open the ejector, release the brakes, and a bit of steam. There's my signal. We have a green. Good. This should start moving. I'll stay in the cab, and I will also turn on the HUD so you can see what I'm doing once we do get moving. So it's still pumping up the brakes at the moment. Or should I say unpumping them, because it's making vacuum. And we'll have a look in Scenario Planner, CCT Mitch, and we'll see if there are any 6Ps on goods. Alright, I'm going to start bringing my reverser back now. I'm just going to turn on the lamp so we can see in the tunnel. Oops, didn't open the door. Otherwise we won't be able to see in here. Hopefully the safety valve will shut up soon. There we go. And because we were sitting for a while, I'll leave the cylinder cocks open for a bit. Farah asks, are all the collectibles on this route station-based? Some routes can be so painful. No, they are not all station-based. Not at all. I've got a yellow signal that just went green. So I'll bring my reverser back into about the mid-40s. Well, mid-40s is what we want. Well, 49, that'll do. We are going up a 1.1% gradient, so I'll close the cocks. And now we can start accelerating. So we're only allowed to do 15 in here. But the key to it is the reverser. You need to get this into the right sort of permission. So the further forward, the more steam you use, but the more power you generate. So the more you can accelerate. But in the furthest forward position, it's not quite like that. So we're happily accelerating up the hill here to the point that I'm actually going to have to throttle back. Got a green signal up there. You should still be able to bring our reverser back a bit, as we're moving quite well. And now we can start to accelerate. See, it's accelerating quite happily. It's slow, but it is doing it. But I'm only using 50% on the regulator. So if you're stuck at 10 miles an hour, the key is your reverser. I wouldn't come back much beyond where we are at the moment, back towards mid-gear, going uphill. When you get on the flat, you can come down into the 30s or even the 20s. There are braziers to collect all around the route. They're everywhere. Let's go and check and see how our Xbox entries are going. Yeah, it definitely is another one now. Cool. So I'll start backing off now because we're coming to the station. But that is basically how you accelerate uphill. So we'll just let gravity start doing its work now. We don't have to use the brakes then. I'll close the ejector. Whoops, you know what we haven't done? We haven't got the little one open. We should always have the little one open. In fact, I'm surprised they let me left the station with the little one shut, because that would have meant the steam brake come on. Maybe the large ejector overcame that. I might actually have to put in some more. He's watching out the window now, looking back, looking ahead. Very important thing that the second person in a loco does. You are the driver's eyes. Let's give it a little bit more because gravity was working way too well. So we're enjoying all the new sounds that came in the update. And we have a... That looks a bit like a red signal on my track that I was merrily rolling towards then. Well, that's how you get up the hill. So we'll accelerate out of here again. Certainly on the flat here. And I think it was it Richie Peach who asked the question? Just scrolling back. Yeah, it was Richie Peach. Does that help, Richie Peach? To see what I was doing there? I wonder. I wonder. Can you get in? No, you can't quite get in. That's a bummer, isn't it? Lock doors. Alright, reverser all the way forward, cylinder cocks open. Large ejector open, release the brakes and a little bit of steam. Alright, loco's ready to go. It's pulling, but the brakes are still coming off, no doubt. There we go. And because we've been running under power, we don't need to keep the cylinder cocks open. And we can start throttling up now that we're moving, because we shouldn't slip. And start bringing the reverser back. Well, there you go. Now you know how to accelerate out of Lime Street. So, let's pop back to the main menu. Ah, that's interesting. So that signal actually applies to this track, because I would have thought it applied to that track, but obviously it doesn't. So that one must be governing a path into the yard. Fair enough. Okay. Has the patch improved things for me? Yes, a lot. So let's go and play the next service I wanted to play, because it's another important one for acceleration. And we're going to run the 8F this time. And we are going to run... Why don't we do a blue 8F? Why not? And look at that. Is that the one I wanted? No, I think I wanted Edge Hill to Newton, which is that one. But I'm not going to run the whole thing. I'm going to run part of it, because there's one thing that didn't get addressed in the patch, and I want to show you that. And then we're going to try and put a scenario together and see how well it works, just out of curiosity. Since I couldn't find a scenario for me that would actually work properly, I thought I'd make one. So this is a nice blue livery. There we go. Let's get into a better angle for it. We are rolling backwards. Let's put some brakes on. Let's put the full steam brake on, in fact. And no point hitting the ejector. And let's go and fix the thing that we have to fix. So we're going to use the 3 key, because the thing that they didn't address, let's see if I can get to them from the sunny side, it might be easier to see the chords. The thing they didn't address is, there's one, the problem where they've got a mixture of fitted and unfitted stock. So the fitted stock, which means it's got brakes, versus the unfitted, which doesn't. So unfitted is usually painted grey, so that the people on the train know that they don't have brakes. These brakes would not actually be, they wouldn't be active, but they are. You can see how the train's starting to move with more of these I release, which is why I put the brakes on up the front so it doesn't roll away, because just behind us is a red signal. That would be boring. So you still have to, unfortunately, go through the tedium of releasing all these cords. But in reality, the driver would actually inspect the entire train anyway. This is something that's not modelled particularly well in any train simulation games. I know on American railways they tend... See how the train's starting to move back? The more of these brakes I release, the more it rolls. The loco shouldn't be, though. No, it's not. So we're just stretching out. And that's fine. It's good to have them all stretched out anyway. See, the last ones are starting to go now, so we should be able to. Now, there's actually no point putting on the large ejector, but we do need to put on the small one, because the small one will let us release this steam brake. Because if you don't do it, let me actually show you what happens. If I release the brakes, the steam brake will stay on. But if I open the small ejector, the steam brake will release, which I don't actually want it to do just yet. I want the steam brake on, to be honest. Alright, let's get our cylinder cocks open, reverser all the way forwards. Now this is a hard start, and if you do it in the snow, it's an even harder start. Oh, looks like we have an enormous amount of water in there. Actually, you can barely see it. The water level's there. Alright then. Let's watch this happen. Let's get over here and come down. So I'm going to give it some steam. Give it about 12, that'll do. I'm going to release the steam brakes. Now the whole train's stretched out, which helps. I hope that signal's green. Now we are starting to move. Now if you tried to move without releasing those brakes, you simply wouldn't. It just wouldn't happen. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Still keeping my reverser in full power, full forward gear at the moment. That's quite deliberate. Yeah, I really enjoy all the liveries people are coming up with. We can close the cocks now. In reality, that's probably a little bit early, but because it's just been sitting there. Bringing my reverser back a bit now. And opening up the regulator some more. Whoop, and there we go, slip. I did learn yesterday that if your locomotive slips and you're not really quick on opening the firebox door, all the air that gets sucked through the fire will just rip it to pieces. Half of it goes out the stack and the rest of it just gets all turned over and holes ripped through it. And you have to fill in all the holes with coal or you just start losing pressure. So because I need a lot of power, because this is a fairly heavy train, I'm actually leaving the reverser where it is at the moment. But that will use a fair bit of steam. But I need to accelerate. Fireman dutifully looking around there. Now I'll start bringing the reverser back because we're at 10 mile an hour. But I still need a lot of energy, so I'm still leaving it in the 40s. Now there always were some track joint sounds here and there, particularly around stations. They're very quiet, but now they're not quiet. We'll take this to RunCon, and then we'll have a go at making a scenario. And I haven't planned anything for the scenario, so we'll see how well this goes. And I can bring the reverser back now into the 30s, because I don't need to accelerate so much anymore. I've got another hill coming up, so I'll back off a little bit, but I'm just going to deliberately go a bit quick. Because I need the momentum for this hill. And right at this moment, in reality, that signalman in the box there would fully understand why I was going a bit quick. And would mysteriously get something in his eye at that moment, so couldn't actually see you do it. Because that's how railways worked at this sort of age. I've got a green signal up there. And we're allowed to go faster. Now we're an unfitted freight, so our top speed, I think from memory, let's just have a look at it. Express freight unfitted is 40 miles an hour. So even if the game said more than 40, we wouldn't be allowed to do more than 40. It was a little bit quick for going through that curve. It was a little bit quick. It was about double the speed. But, you know, that's all right. Looks good, though, doesn't it? It's like a snake. I could have behaved a little better there. Yeah, let's get rid of the evidence. We've got a green signal. Let's be a person on the platform. That sounded pretty realistic. Even though I think I'm sitting on the platform. Now I just want to use enough steam to stop the safety valve blowing off. There's a lot of quite good liveries on the Creators Club if you wander out and have a look at them. Got a green signal up there on the bridge. We just smoked out a bus. Another green there. I didn't see any announcements of an art change in the patch notes. In fact, while this is cruising along, let me actually go and find the patch notes. And you can see what did change. So we should have track joint sounds throughout the route, and I think we do have those. At the start of the time for Scouse scenario, players should be able to choose either route. Fixed an issue where players were achieving objectives before they got into the cab. Fixed an issue where players could navigate out of bounds at Edge Hill Station. You know, I always like being able to escape into the world. It's a good thing. They're nice little Easter eggs. Move to signal box and signal outside Edge Hill so the signal is not buried beneath it. Well, I never picked that one up. Missing engine shed now visible at crew. That's interesting. There was an entire shed missing. What are these signals saying up here? We have a green. Very good. And we're going to be switching over to the fast line at some point. In a while. They added the 8F with Mark 1 wagons formation in the scenario planner. I don't know if I'd call them wagons. I would have called them cars, but anyway. Lots of green. Very good. And fixed an issue where player scenario starting at crew could derail player upon spawning. I did have that happen to me. And all achievements should now be attainable for locos in the add-on. That other one, it was basically the train was spawning in just the wrong spot. And the last carriage was sitting on the buffers, so it just went boom. Now, they haven't said so in the patch notes, but I just kind of think there's more stuff sitting around in the yards now than there was before. It just looks better. It doesn't look as empty anymore. Now, I don't know for sure that it wasn't there before, but gut feel says, oh, well, that was empty track. And I think that was all of them now. Oh, and the achievements are working on the consoles. The Steam achievements were right through, but the console ones weren't. Have I set head codes on this? Probably not. So we are a proof rate unfitted. Right. Let's go around here. So we need... Actually, we're an express freight unfitted, sorry. I don't know why we're in express freight. We've only got coal. I suppose it's important. Shovel, human. The blue does look nice in the sun. I don't know if my chat's died, if you've all just gone quiet. So where are we up to? Oh, not far away. Farah asks, he has a feeling he's going to say this one, but I have a favourite route on TSW2. The favourite locos are, it's definitely the 8F. I like the 8F a lot. Favourite route, I think, is actually Boston, believe it or not, because it has ATC and Axis implemented, which means I can drive HUD free. And it's really busy. Might just put on just a little bit of brake with a little bit of regulator here. You can feel all the carriages closing up there. I don't know if you saw that or not. Let me actually get back here a bit. So I'll go between them. If I release the brake and start accelerating, you'll see them pull apart. Like that. And if I apply the brake, you'll see them all run into the back of the loco. Clonk. I'm just starting to slow down for the track change, because you remember when it's unfitted stock, it means only the loco is braking, nothing else is. So you have to plan your braking well in advance, because it takes a long time. And I do have to say, there's nothing in the patch notes. I love the way they roll through the somewhat non-flat track. But there's nothing in the patch notes, but I think it's harder to derail the 8F during banking at the moment. Is anybody else finding that since the patch it's harder to derail it? Now we've got a double yellow here, which is the equivalent of a distance signal, a distance semaphore. And I've come down to 20 mile an hour, so I'll stop braking. I'll open the regulator up a little to try and quiet that safety valve. There we go. I don't need to accelerate. Because I think this go via the fast line means we're going to change tracks. I think. Or not. I thought we'd have to change tracks, but I was wrong. Actually, let's just have a look at what happens with braking when we're at the back of the train. Oh. So I'll use this. Yeah, that one. Let's just watch what happens. So if I close the accelerator, close the regulator I should say, so we gently start closing up on the cars. So let's pull them apart again. I'm just watching the buffers down here. There we go. And if I brake, and stop, close the regulator as well, we should see the similar thing happening. They should push together. There they go. Clonk. Yeah, I want to try this. I'm going to pull them apart again. And then I'm going to give it 100% braking, because I just have the feeling that it's harder to derail. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so we've pulled them apart. Just let it accelerate a little bit again. And what do you reckon's going to happen, folks? Alright, regulator closed. 100% braking. Full application. Do you know, you definitely couldn't have done this before the patch. It would have derailed by now. I think they've done some work here, but it's not in the patch notes, so maybe they weren't sure whether they fixed it or not. That's kind of cool. Now, we should try that with some fitted stock too, because maybe it was only really bad with the fitted stock. Now, well, we can release that. Let's get our reverser back into a place where it's going to make lots of power and get going again. Hey, look at that. We did eventually change tracks. Here's our signal box on a creek. I always like this one. It's just kind of a cute idea. So it's got all this wooden bracing holding it up because it's literally sitting on top of a creek. Must have been a nightmare. Hey, look at that. That's really cool. I've escaped into the world. I found a place. We're free. Let's go look at some stuff while we're out here. Why not? There you go. I think I've just accidentally revealed a place where you can escape. Oh no, we can't get all the way up. We do have a limit, it appears. There's our train chuffing off into the distance there. Chuffing up the hill. So we're just going to take this service to Runcorn and then we'll start putting a scenario together and we'll see what happens. And I'll tell you what, I'll make it even more amusing. I'll take requests. So I think what I'll do is I've got diesel engines loaded up, and I've got GWE and a few others, and NTP, and I think I've got West Somerset loaded at the moment. So I'll pick some of the older diesels out of those to run in it, because I think that'd be fun. So that means our rolling stock will have a bit of a mixture of errors, but that's all right. Well, the ADF is struggling a little bit on this hill. But this is a fairly heavy load for a single locomotive. Yesterday's run on Puffing Billy was almost the maximum allowable load for the locomotive, so... That meant my getting the firing nearly right was even more important. And I'm not going to say I did well. I'm happy with what I did. I was happy with the day. I did okay. Let's be the brakeman for a little while. Because, you know, if I was the brakeman, nice summer day like this, I'd stand out here. I'd probably have my door open, though. So that if the driver whistled and wanted me to use the brake, which I don't think you can actually... Oh, you can! There you go. You can give your driver the shits. Actually, he's slowing us down, too. It works. That's cool. I didn't know you could do that. Actually, we'll see if that brake does work when I get on the level part of the bridge, so we're not pulling uphill anymore. When we get to the level bit, I'll close the regulator, and we'll see if these push together, and then I'll yank on that brake and see if they pull apart again. That'll be interesting. I think this is one difference between steam and diesel that people may not appreciate, is that steam engines are really good at moving really heavy things really slowly. So as long as they can maintain adhesion, they probably won't stall out in most situations. There's an 8F going down the hill, going much faster than we are. Alright, we're almost on the level, so let's give this a try. And see if they push together. Or are we still going uphill here? No, they're pushing together. So let's put this brake on. We want to see if it actually works. Because if it works, then we'll see the buffers separate again. And we are, look at that. So the brake is working. That's really cool. That's a good way to help keep your train stretched out while running downhill with unfitted stock. Is the brakeman in the guard's van can apply his brake or her brake or whoever. In fact, it's going to stop the train, I think. Put some more regulator into it. Can it overcome the steam loco? That would be interesting. Get a bit more power. Nah, it's outpulling us, which is how it should be. But in coming across the bridge here, I think we start going downhill shortly. So if I release this, we should just punch up on him again. Alright, that is quite cool, but that's as far as we're going to take this one. And yeah, this is the nicest part of the route, Farah, definitely. In fact, let's use the brake van to stop the train in the station. Give the driver a break. That was a terrible pun, wasn't it? I think it's going to stop before we get to the station, but that's alright. Because then we're going to go and try a scenario. We're going to try and make one. This is really cool that the brake van works. This actually makes me really happy. There you go. Yard mode. I wonder if it works on AI trains. Imagine how much fun you could have hopping on an AI train and putting the brakes on. Good stuff. Now everything else is rolling back on it. It's starting to push me backwards. So it managed to stop it going up the hill, but it can't stop it going backwards. I put the loco brake on just to stop it, see what happens. Is it going to roll again? No, I think it's going to sit now. Cool. All right, let's make a scenario. So the first thing we need is a bit of a map. Now we want to make it readable because it is a fairly big route. Let's zoom all the way out. It is a bit of a whopper. So we're going to need a couple of maps because it needs to be readable so you know where the things are. So that zoom level will be fine. So I'll take a snip of this and I'll just keep this on my other screen. Liverpool Lime Street to Runcorn. So that's the bit we just did. And I'll keep that up there. And now I'll scroll down a bit. And put Runcorn up in the left-hand edge there. And we'll take another snip. Actually, I better save the first snip because I don't get to keep more than one, do I? Where am I going to put that? Yeah, that'll do. So we'll take a new snip. Runcorn down to here. And we'll call that Live 2. I know you can't see what I'm doing. And we'll get... So that was the station, was the last one. And this is Winsford, isn't it? Yep. So we'll snip this one. This is just so I can have maps so I can see where the stations are. Whoops. So I can tell when I'm putting this scenario together. All right, and we'll save that as Live 3. All right, now let's go back to the main menu. Yep. That's a nice shot in the early dawn light there. Go into Tools and Scenario Planner. And let me just get these maps open again. So we'll actually be able to see them. Let's put this over here. I want to open all three of these. Open. Of course you'd only open one of them windows. Why would you do something smart like open them all? Oh, sigh. Windows. Alright, so we have them. I've got them open on the next screen. You guys can't see that, but that's okay. So let us add a scenario. What should we call it? Changeover? Why not? And we want to set it to be off the rails because we want to put some other things on it. So let's add our first service. So why don't we put on... What should we drive? Should we drive a freight service or should we drive a passenger service, chat? So this will be the player service I'm putting on here now. I'm kind of thinking freight. And we might drive it in from Crew. We haven't driven from Crew for a while. So let's start in Crew platform. Actually, can we start in Crew sheds? That'd be even better. Can't, can we? Where's Basford Hall? Oh, that's at the other end. Alright, let's start it at Crewe. And we will go through to Liverpool Lime Street. Oh, that's a passenger one. I don't want a passenger one. I want to do a freight one. So where are we going to start it down at this end? Where's exhibition siding? That wasn't on my map. Where's that? On this map. Oh, new. How do I make that bigger and smaller? Oh, that's boring. And it doesn't want me to scroll it around either. I can scroll up and down, but not much else. Alright, this is going to be harder than I thought. I should have reorganised this. Speak. We could start at Speak. We could start at Winsford. Ditton Junction's in the middle. Basford Hall is at Liverpool. There's not as many places I was hoping for. Alright, so we'll start one at the other end. We'll start at Edge Hill Down sidings. So we'll start there. And we'll go to Crewe sidings, middle arrival line 1. That's fine. And we'll confirm that. And we'll make this one our 8F, because that's what we want to drive. LMS Stania 8F. And see, you can have Mark 1s now. So that's good for some of those other things that you might want to make. Let's have a mixed, I think. Mixed loaded. 78. Actually, I'll make it big mixed. Let's make this harder. Now, we've got a lot of other people's things here, so let's plonk all these in. Why not? We can only have... Oh, that's right. You can only have one of each of the different ones. I want to have a whole big mixture of them. Am I allowed to have them? Yep. Yeah, you only get a bit of a selection of what you can actually have, unfortunately. So if you have... I don't have the racetrack, Chicago. So, and this is not a passenger service. And let's kick it off. Let's keep this fingers down thing. Let's kick this one off at 11 AM. And we'll call this Leia 8F Edge Crew. Because I always name my services that way, because it helps me understand what's going on. Now, let's add some interest services. So, we know it takes about an hour to get from one end to the other. So, let's start at Liverpool. Actually, let's start another freight service going. Do you want to go at the same time we do? That could be embarrassing. Let's try at Edge Hill Platform 1. So we should see this if we put in a path from Lime Street to Crewe, and we put in... I want to make it end at Crewe Platform 5. That'll be fine. This is a passenger. We're going to make it stop everywhere. So hopefully we'll see it more than once, because if it stops everywhere, it might even get in our way. That'd be even better. And we'll make it start. Alright, confirm that. And we want to make this... Tell you what, we'll make this an 8F with some Mark 1s. Why not? And we'll give it some Mark 1s. We'll give it 6 so that it's not struggling. And let's do a blue 8F. Let's call this the Relief. Because we'll just pretend a Jubilee broke down. I'm running out of characters. So do it this way. That'll do. And it's not a player service. It is a passenger service. And we'll make this one start. Might take us a little while to get around there. Let's make it 10. So it'll take us a little while to get to the Edge Hill station. So we should see this one. Now, let's add some stuff coming the other way. We're going to do as many of these as we can. Crew Platform 2. And we're going to go to Liverpool P9. We'll just fill up as many platforms as we can. And confirming the end marker. Let's go to Liverpool. Let's go all the way. And let's make it stop everywhere because it's a passenger. Yep, good. Now this one, let's make this, ooh, what have we got here? 66 is too new. There's lots of new stuff in here. I want some old stuff. I thought I loaded in some old stuff. Oh, you know what we can do? We can make this pulled by an 09. This is going to take forever. This will be funny. Mark 1 coaches by 4. Actually, now if I make this an 09, it's never going to get through. We'll never see it. So let's make it a 101. We'll make it a 4-car loaded. And this will be the 101. Crew to Liverpool. And we'll start it at the same time so we see it somewhere in the middle. Not a player service, it is a passenger service. Alright, now let's add at Edge Hill down sidings. We'll send it to crew, but it'll never get there. And we'll make this one a Class 9. Class 09 green. I actually wanted to give it some freight, but that's okay. We'll give it some coaches. And we're going to set this off at the same time we do, and hopefully we'll get out in front of it, because if we get out behind it, we're stuffed. Not a player service, actually. Don't make it a passenger. We'll do 09. This needs to run out behind us, but you can't start anything before the player service. It's always a bit sad. You can't have a diesel and steam together in your scenario, Chicago. It's not possible. You cannot do it. So let's do some more things throughout the route. Liverpool Lime Street siding E. We'll never see that one. What else have we got? Speak up siding. I reckon it would probably take us about 30 minutes to get to Speak. Crew sorting siding, so we can send something else to crew. That's going in the same direction we are. But let's send... I don't know if we'll ever actually see this one. I was hoping for some older locos, but I don't seem to have them loaded. So let's do a Class 47 green. There's lots here with coaches. All right, let's do some Mark 1 coaches. Why not? Forgot where I started this. Oh well. It was a 52, 47. 47 pass to crew. And it's not a player service. We want to start this. Well, actually, let's start it at 12. 11:30. 11:30. Guessing here. Guessing. Yes, that would be very good. So I can't do a passenger to crew name. Okay. What about tax to crew? Is that allowed? Yeah, let me have that one. Why can't do pass? Alright, now let's look at our maps. So we're going from Edge Hill. So Edge Hill, we've got Wavertree. So we might want to see something from Wavertree heading towards Liverpool. And I reckon it would take us about 12 minutes to get to Wavertree. So let's add something from there. Wavertree platform 1. Now this is where you've got to guess, because I've got no idea which platform's which. So let's try platform 1. This may fail badly. So that's going to crew. So that's no good, that path. So I want to go back and I want to try another platform because I want them going the other way. So let's try Wavertree platform 2. Is this one going towards Liverpool? It is. Fantastic. Let's put you into platform 5. That's good. Yeah, why not? We'll make it stop at Edge Hill, even though it's going to be a freight. Good. And let's make this class 47 or 45. Yeah, you've got Mark 1 coaches. You're no good. I don't want Mark 1 coaches. I want some more freight. Back. You've got coaches. You're no good to me. Who's got freight? You've got coaches. 52 blue. You've got coaches. Does no one have freight? I don't want a 66. They're too new. I thought I had more old stuff loaded. Oh well. Let's go with a class 08. And you've got coaches. You're boring. There's no freight. I thought I had Diesel Legends loaded, which has got lots of freight in it. But anyway. Let's go with a Stania. And let's run it with some box fans. You'll do fine. Let's have an Express Dairy. This was 8F. Live. Moo. Because it's a dairy train, of course. And we'll start this one at about 11:15. So we should see it. And we'll confirm that. And let's add another one. So can we can go from Allerton. So let's pick up. Actually, can we go from Moseley Hill? Can. Moseley Hill platform 2. Let's go Moseley Hill platform 4. Does that go towards Liverpool? It does. Fantastic. So we'll send this towards Liverpool. And we'll try and send it all the way in, but it'll never get there. It'll get stuck at signals. We'll make it stop everywhere just to give us more of a chance of seeing it. And this will be another freight. So we'll go with another Stania. Oh, why not? Bit of wood. We'll have a Wilkinson. (8F). This is going from Mossy Wood to Liverpool. It's not a player service. We'll start this at about 11:20. I'm just guessing here. Totally guessing. Hello, Pete 888 UK. Good to see you as well, mate. Yeah, that's a good idea, Cayman, to suggest that you can have your own formations. There actually is a thread, which I think's got my post at the top of it, scarily enough. Let's go Allerton platform 4 now. So we're going a little bit further down the map each time we do this. And we'll send him into platform 8. Let's make this one a passenger. Whoops, sorry. Need to confirm my end pointer. Being silly. Let's make it stop everywhere. And we'll stick a Jubilee on this one because it'll be a passenger. And we have to be a bit of a shorty. Oh, let's make this the pink one. Why not? And this one's going from 6P Alley to Liverpool. It's not a player service. We'll start this at 11:30 so we see it. It is a passenger service. Do that one. And then we'll add another one because I want to see things all the way through to the end of the route. Let's go Speak Junction now because that's the next one along. I'm hoping all these things will get in each other's way and we'll see them stuck all over the place. Grouse. Okay, we can have Speak Up Siding 7. So where's that going to go? No, that's going to go to crew. That's no good. I don't want to go to crew. I want things going in the opposite direction. So let's try Speak itself for a service. So we can't do anything from the station. It's a bit sad. Alright, let's just drop that map out. Now we're next on Runcorn. Oops. Add! That'd work better, wouldn't it? Runcorn. Let's go platform 2, because I'm hoping that goes towards Liverpool. It does. Fantastic. Let's put you into... We haven't used platform 5 yet. They've got a good selection of platforms in this. This is good. We want to go all the way through to Liverpool. We'll make this another passenger. We'll make it stop everywhere. The reason I make them stop everywhere is you're more likely to actually see them. And that looks alright. Let's make this another... What do we make this one? 47 and some Mark 1s. Why not? 7 coaches loaded. That seems fair. And this is 47 and it's going from Runcorn to Liverpool. And we'll make this at about 11:25. Not a player, but it is a passenger. We're doing okay. We've got a few in here. You watch. I'll go to the last one and it'll crash. What's next? Let's try Sultan. You can't use Sultan in there. What about Alton? You don't have that one either. Weaver? No. How about Alton Bridge? Acton Bridge, rather. There we go. Acton Bridge. Let's stick with platform 2, because that seems to be going to Liverpool most of the time, and it is. We've used a lot of these. We haven't used platform 6. Let's go for platform 6. And we will take it all the way to platform 6, I think. Even though we won't see them. Give the game something to do. Waste a bit of electricity, cause some global warming. Sounds like a plan to me. After all, they're steam engines. They burn rocks. They make gas. So this can be another Jubilee, I think. And Jubilee and 5 Mark 1s. Why not? That's a nice little local thing. And let's do the BR lined back. So this is a 6p from... Where did I take this? Alton Bridge. Sorry, Acton Bridge. Acton Bridge to Liverpool. We'll start this later. So about 11:40, I think, would be pretty good. No, it might be a bit late. 11:30. Not a player service, is a passenger service. And what's next? Can we do Asford? No, we can't. So I'll drop this map. We're on the last map now. I think we've done that map. I want map 3. What do I do with map 3? I never opened it. Clever. Alright, let me open up map 3. Well, you guys can't see it anyway, can you? There we go. There's map 3. Where does Basford Hall go, just out of interest? Speak up siding. Yeah, that's going to be competing with us, so let's not do that. Let's see what else we can add, because I'm running out of things on the map that are interesting. Crew platform 3, let's send something in from Crew to Liverpool. We've used all the platforms now, but it doesn't matter, because it'll never actually get there. And let's just say that we're going all the way to Liverpool. Let's make it stop everywhere. And this one I'm going to put on a 101. Because I can. That looks good. Class 101. We don't have the green one loaded, unfortunately. So let's do a 3-car loaded 101. Why not? 101. Crew to Liverpool. Not a player service. Is a passenger service. And if we start this one about 11:45, we'll see it in the middle somewhere. All right, now let's be brave. Let's chuck in a couple more, because this is the point where it starts getting silly. What about Ditton Junction platform 4? And that's going towards Crew. That's no good. So let's try one of the other junction platforms. Let's try platform 3. Let's see where that goes. That does go to Liverpool, so why don't we send you to platform 11? Why not? Set end marker as platform 11. And we'll stop everywhere again. What are we going to put in this one? I probably will have done it by the time we get to the 20-second delay time. Put in a German train. That'd be funny. How old's a 150? I can't remember. Oh, I know what a 150 is. That's the thing from Cornwall, isn't it? We're not doing that. What else have we got? 37.5? Oh, yeah? With some sea cows. Why not? What did I pick? 57, I think. So it's a fairly modern one, unfortunately. Hate the way this works. Bit, live. Sea cows. We've got two kinds of cow now. Now, Ditton Junction, if I remember, is a fair way along, so let's start him at 11:30. 11:35. Guessing. Just guessing. This could go badly. I'm adding too much stuff. I'm getting carried away. Someone stopped me. Oh no. No one stopped me. What else could we do? Edge Hill down sidings. Where do they go? To crew. No, that'll compete with us. That's no good. I don't want to compete. I don't want trains going the same direction we are because you won't see them. And they'll just either get in our way. Where does exhibition sidings go? That goes to crew as well. Need to add some more services. We need more. Need more. Hallibank, platform 2. We should be able to add you. Where are you on the route? Let me just consult these maps again because I'm not actually sure where Hallibank is. You know what? After I've looked at the maps, I'm still not sure where Hallibank is. It's not on the maps. Alright, we're in guessing territory now. Now we've used all the station. No, we haven't used platform 10 yet. Let's go to platform 10. Why not? What are we going to make this one? Let's make this a... What else have I got in here? Not much stuff. Let's make it another Stania. And let's make it a... mixed. And we can have a Quarian Sun in this one. We'll have an Express Dairy. Actually, let's not have a dairy. Let's have Faversham Ales. Let's have a Norton's Grimsby. Don't think I can have any of those. And let's make it the blue one. Now I'm guessing here because I don't even know where this is. It's not a passenger service. Where was this running from? H something. Let's put H live. I can't remember where it was. Alright. Let's run it. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff. So we should see some trains. This should be good. And if we don't, we'll just get stuck somewhere. Okay. Are we ready to try this? This scenario is off the rails. Yay! This could go so badly. Doing a scenario live with no planning whatsoever, this could go horribly wrong. That's why you're all watching, isn't it? You want to see it go horribly wrong. Alright, let us get underway. Small ejector is open. Brakes are on. Open a large ejector. Reverser all the way forward. Cylinder cocks open. What have we got? We have a war department. There's some express dairy stuff. Well, there's our little green. And there's our competition, the Mark 1 over there. Now, hopefully we're going to go on different tracks, though. So let's jump in. I'm going to turn on some more of the HUD, though. Now, hopefully we haven't got any unfitted stock in this, because that would go a little bit badly. I just want to get moving so that the passenger doesn't get out in front of us. Oh, we do have some unfitted stock at the back. That's okay. That War Department livery's almost green, isn't it? That's cool. Now that passenger in the back corner over there should be starting off. So there's our express dairy with English eggs. And W. Corey and Son. I don't know why that passenger hasn't gone any yet. I hope we haven't got the path. I was hoping they'd go on different tracks. North stand. Alright. Yeah, a view to view all the surfaces and how they cross on what's called a string diagram would be magnificent. Now, the reason I've turned on the rest of the HUD is I have no idea how the game's going to react to having all these trains in it. We shall see. I, for example, have never driven this path, and we appear to have a green on the dwarf up there. Looks like the game is not setting all the points for us. Is that a red signal? Hope not. No, we've got a green signal up there. Our path goes around there. Come on. That must be a double slip. We want to go right. And then there. That's a bit challenging. We're just driving around a yard. How are we getting to Crewe? That's fun anyway. Apparently we are going to Crewe. We're just going a different way. That's cool. Oh, we're going to have to climb a pretty steep hill at some point, aren't we? Alright, it is all set for me now, and then I'll be going on to the signalled stuff. Let's get on with it! Now, is our passenger left back there yet, do you think? Yes, look! The 09's following us. Now, what about that passenger train, though? There's the 09 following us. Is this one left? No, it's still sitting in there. I must be interfering with its path. So it's probably going to follow us. But at least we got to see it. And I think we're going to be followed all the way to Crewe by an 09, which is... Oh no, where's he gone? Where's he gone? Where's he gone? He's nicked off somewhere. Oh no, he's still following us. He's probably just at his top speed now, I guess. We are climbing the hill. Oh, this is why the passenger hasn't left, because I've got to be crossing his tracks, so I'll be in the way. That's cool. Because the passenger trains come on this line down here. So I managed to get going quickly enough to get out in front of him, which is good. I'm going to turn off the F5 part of the HUD and we'll just leave the signals on. I really like these liveries. That looks cool. It really adds value to it. What I would love to be able to have is random liveries, so that you download all the liveries for all these different cars. Oh, there's another train. Where'd you come from? So what I'd like is you've got all these different liveries, but I'd love a train made up of all different ones, not all the same. That would be really cool. Well, we've seen 4 of our trains so far. Let's see how many more we get to see. Oh, and we should do our codes too, shouldn't we? I haven't done them. So we do have some unfitted stock. Let me just check what the codes should be. So express freight with unfitted stock. Right, that one. And down the bottom. There we go. Now the signalmen know what we are. And we're going to do the full run all the way to Crewe just to see what we get. And if this works, after we finish the stream, I'll make a list of all the things I used in it and put it up on Creators Club, if it works. It's kind of important to make sure your scenarios work if you make them. What would be really cool, given this has got some unfitted stock in it, and would make it a little bit hard to control, is get a train in front of it. Alright, and Pete says, love the Express Dairy livery. My late father used to work for them. Yes, it is available in the Creators Club. That's where I've grabbed it from. It's not one of mine. And it's cool, you can have that little bit of reminiscing. Got a green signal up there. Ooh, no shoveler. Must be automatic. I can just get up really high. There we go, now I won't hit anything. Let's come up to this platform, watch him fly through. Haven't seen another moving train yet. Let me see if I can find you a link while this is happening. There you go, there's a link to it, Pete. Let's get up there and watch him come through. Well, at least there's another train. It's not going anywhere, but it's another train. Oh, it's a crimson one. No worries, Pete. And Chicago says the big boys and challengers need to come to TSW2. I reckon that they will wait and see how Steam sits with the community. Anyone remember what time we told this one to go? because I think maybe it was a bit late. I should have made this one go earlier. So we will need some adjustments on this scenario. Oh, there's another one. Let's go have a look. He's not moving either, so my timings aren't brilliant because he's going to run behind us. That's cool. So before I upload this, after we've run it, I'll work on the timings. I'll use this to get my actual timings. So when I'll do the first run through, I use the clock from the game, and then I'll go back and find each of the trains and go, well, you should have been moving before then. Because the main objective is to see them moving rather than seeing them just sitting around doing nothing. You know, I can't remember the last time I actually drove to Crewe. I don't think I have for a while. I really like these buildings. They're cool. Well, nothing got out in front of us. We've got green signals everywhere. Got some workers going on there. So if you've just joined, we're playing a scenario that I literally just made on the stream. Nice old cars. Van. Can't look at Discord right now, mate. You know what I've wondered every time I've come here? Why is it here? What do you think about the train? Is it cool? That's what I thought. I knew the cows would like it. I've asked the sheep, but they never seem to say anything. Do you know, I'm tipping the 8F shouldn't really be doing the kind of speed it is, but that's okay. Just going to slow it back to the speed it should be doing, so when I do the rerun I can fix my timings properly, because this is a bit quick. There's a train. Get up next to it. Wah! Where's the station sign? Need a station sign. Hellybank, okay. So my timings are definitely a bit off, so I'll try and keep this back to the real speeds that it's supposed to do. so that we see more of them moving. Oh, I think they've all just been murdered, Chicago. That's why there's no occupants. Would the Challenger and Big Boy ever actually run together in reality? I have a faint suspicion if you coupled them together, they're so big that you'd probably have problems. I think you'd have to have buffer cars between them. Do either of them ever run as a double header? That would answer that question. Yes, you'll never know where your passengers are, Pete. You'll never know where your fireman is either. They're always missing in scenarios. That looks pretty. Nice scene. Hello, NJT. Welcome back. We're running a scenario that I just made. Because we can. There's another train parked in the platform up there. Let's go have a look. That's our fish vans. We're at Ditton Junction. And I think I set you to move at about 11:20, so you're not going to go anywhere for a while. Alright, so we have to fix that timing. Almost at Runcorn already. Start accelerating for the hill. Pete asks a question: if you apply too much brake and wish to get back up to speed, is it best to increase the reverser percentage? In a real train, yes. In this one, it doesn't seem to make much difference. But if you want to operate prototypically, even though it doesn't make much difference, then yes. So if I pop back into the cab now, let's put on the hub just for argument's sake. So we're going uphill. If I braked a bit now, and I'll release that, open the injector so it fixes it, I wouldn't leave my reverser there. I'd bring it closer to forward gear. Same when you're climbing hills. 67 is probably a little extreme. 50s would be fine. Because when you're climbing hills, you want to develop more power. So I'd suggest you get used to doing it, because it wouldn't surprise me if the reality level increases a little over time with these locos. If you ever get the opportunity for a cab ride, definitely take it and keep an eye on what the driver does. A lot of the preserved railways sell cab rides, and they even sell driver experience days. Will the transit bridge be doing anything today? Let's go and watch from the canal. We can sit down here on our boat and watch the train go past. Or we can sit in the water and watch the train go past. Now, what about the transporter bridge? What's it doing? It's sitting still doing nothing. Of course it is. That's what the transporter bridge does. I want to find a nice, smooth way to do pans. Mice and trackball are both terrible. I need something else to do it. Coming across the old Runcorn Bridge, with the new bridge being built next to it. Hey, does anyone know if the old one's still there? I haven't looked. I'd be curious. My wife and I want to go to New York again next year. Look, here's a train that's actually moving. Wow, it's just stopped. So the timing of this one is about perfect, because it literally just pulled up as we got here. Don't know if we'll see it go. Wait a moment and see if it leaves. It hasn't got a driver, so I'm guessing not. But this is at Runcorn, so I think I set this one to move at 11:25, so it'll be a couple of minutes, so we won't sit there waiting for it. I think we're going uphill at this point. Just decrease the cutoff. When you bring the reverser back, it actually, you can get the same amount of steam available to you, but it's not available to you as long, so the valves open and close sooner. So it uses a lot less steam, but it gives you a lot less power. But once you're moving, you don't need much to keep it going. Is this part of the route grown some trees recently? Or did it always have these? Sorry for the sneezing in the background, that's my munchkin upstairs. Now, let's watch from this bridge. Looks like a nice bridge to watch from. Don't think I'll get run over here, it's a nice country lane. In fact, if I move over a bit, we'll get steamed. I once hung a GoPro from a bridge like this above a steam locomotive, and I really didn't think it through very well. Let's just say it was the last thing it ever did, but the video was awesome. Melted it. Oh, there you are, train. I wonder where you've gone. Some serious super elevation on the curve there. Another brakeman view. Come on, let me in there. Can't see much today. Now I'm stuck here. Let me out! Let me out! Oop, I got out. I think I got stuck on the door. Signal's green up there, which is good. Let's go and wait on that station. Ah, more cows. We should have interviewed them. Actually, there you go. Crane operator view. Why not? Getting up a little bit too much speed again, so I'll just slow it down a little bit. Is it close enough to the tracks? No, it's not. Need to find a puddle that's really close to the tracks. Now we can watch from the ganger's shed. Cool. Watch through the window. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's handy. 888, thank you, Pete. According to the wiki, the bridge is still there, standing in the 2010s. The bridge has undergone length maintenance that will extend its life for another 150 years. That's good. I like it when the old structures still survive. They're often engineered with such a high safety margin, loading them up to 2 or 3 times. Excuse me, I got hiccups. Loading them up to 2 or 3 times what you would expect them to carry from modern vehicles and modern rolling stock. They still survive quite happily. We're running just on 40 miles an hour now. I'm pretty sure. Feels like 40 miles an hour. Let's have a look. Oh, 42. It's close. Slowing down a little bit because I want these timings to work for 40 miles an hour. I'll read this signal box. Birdswood. Very good. It can be a hobo riding the train now. Going down hills, I'll just give it a bit of braking. It's obviously getting faster. You can hear it. That's cool. So it carries the West Coast mainline branch to Liverpool, and it has the overhead electrification now. I guess that's always an opportunity for Dovetail in the future, is to update this route with another version of it. which is a modern variant with the electrification. And there's always the opportunity to downgrade old ones and introduce steam to them. Don't know why I like this view so much, but I do. Green on the signal. And we can do another signal box view here because its stairs will be on this side. Ah, better yet. Gratuitous river shot. We should do it from this side. Prettier. More sunlight. There we go. That'll be a good shot. Oh, look at that. Timing. That was a pretty good accident of timing, wasn't it? At least know that train works. Whichever one that was. And Pete says that would be fabulous. Love the West Coast main line. Is local line, but at the southern end. There were a few people making fun of Dovetail on Twitter yesterday. Let's see if I still got it. Where is it? Lost the app. But anyway, they were saying that it's got their northwest and northeast mixed up. It's starting to climb now. So I think we need some more trains up this end of the line, don't we? Oh, just as I say that, there is one. The 101. That worked pretty well. So the 101's good. When I publish this, what I might do is actually, no, no, I will. I'll untick all the livery boxes so people don't need to download these. Because that list would be quite extensive. I wish the 8 key was facing the same way you were most of the time. Acton Bridge. Fuzzy Acton Bridge at that. There you go. Forced it to load. Oh, we can watch from the goods shed. That's kind of cool. Just watching trains from silly places. Imagine being a goods shed worker. All you ever see is the trains go past. You're not allowed on them. Signalman's on the ball there. Dropping the stick back. This will be another river view, I think. This one's a road. Probably get run over. Let's make it artistically right. Get to go up in the air a little bit. Oops, too much. There we go. Proper perspective now. Perfect screenshot setup. As you do. How many of you do put up screenshots of your drives? Whether they be on Dovetail Live or otherwise. Oh, there, that one. That's the one that's on the wrong side of the track. That's okay. It's meant to be on the left-hand side, apparently. Hartford Junction. This was the one I was trying to find on the map, but I couldn't find it. Hello, Breadometer. Yeah, I was looking at it thinking, is that red? But then I've got the signal HUD up on the right and it's going green and it's going, uh-oh. Pete would like to hope that they add a loco DLC for this route to operate the local stopping services. Yeah, probably a little 060 or 262 or something like that. A little tank locomotive would be really nice. That would be really cool. And having it set up a bit like passenger stops so that you had to go to various sidings and stay there for a little while things got loaded and unloaded. That would be really, really cool. I'd enjoy that. And hello to you too, Royal Gaming. We're playing a scenario that we just built on this stream. Seeing how many trains we can see. And I think what I'll do is I'll run through the video after the stream. Not sure if I'll get this done today because my wife has a few things that need doing around the house, which is can't spend all my time with trains. But what I'll do is I'll run through the timings and I'll adjust the timings and I'll see what other British rolling stock I can bring into it to bring in some transition era diesels to bring in a bit more of that sort of action as well. That's a nice bridge, isn't it? Where is this? This is Hartford. Hartford at 11:39. I'm well, thank you, Royal Gaming. How are you as well? How is India today? Are you 4 hours behind us, I think, in time zone? Something along those lines? So it's even earlier morning for you. Or is it the other way around? Are you ahead of us? Never can remember. No, you're behind us. So at this point I'm wondering if we've seen all the trains that we set off from Crewe or if we're going to see some more. How's our water going? Is good. Let's close you. Got me tea in the thing here. If you could open that, that'd be good. I still like that they went to the extent of modelling the carriage wobble. That's really cool. Just giving it a little bit of brake to slow it down a little again. I was getting a bit quick. Where is this one? Verdin's Sidings. Doesn't look like a very active place to have a signal box. Serious industrial area over here. Wow. Wow. What could possibly get around that? That is quite the curve. I'd be wondering if even a light loco could make it around that, really. Ooh. There's a hole in the world. Oh, it's gone from this angle. There it is. Land doesn't quite line up. Yep, here's our train. Just watch from here to this time. It's pretty tight, isn't it, NJTE? You could probably push one of these four-wheeled wagons around it by hand. Bit of hand shunting never hurt anybody. We used to hand shut stuff all the time on the railway I work on, but we're not allowed to do it anymore. There's not a lot of stations towards the crew end of this line. Because modern practice considers hand shunting to be unsafe. You definitely had to know what you were doing to do it safely, but it was achievable. But modern ways don't like things like that. Winsford Goods Yard. Where's the yard, one might ask yourself. Nine miles to crew. One of the ways you can tell how fast you're going is to count the telephone poles over there on the right. Anybody want to have a guess? I know how fast we're going because I have a rail driver. There's a station to watch our train come through. Oh, it's Winsford. Let's watch them up on the bridge. We'll get knocked around by a few people, but that's okay. Look at them all. People and cows. That's what Winsford's famous for. Perky people and cows. Bananas, apparently. Is that crates full of bananas? It is crates full of bananas. Well, how about that? Bananas. What were you asking about the 45 NJTE? I think we need to find a way to shoehorn some more trains in at the crew end of the route. Haven't seen one for a while. And we've still got 8 miles to go. There's a brazier I lit a while ago. Still going. Good to see. They're magic braziers. They don't go out once you light them. Oh, 45 miles an hour. Close. 35. That's not bad. Let's go and see what else we can find ahead. Oh, it's a church. This is something worth looking at on this route. The amount of detail on the water is really good. It's the best water in game, I think. Can't quite get to the farmhouse to watch the train. Watch it from here among the flowers. There we go. With the big chimney in the background. So Winsford's answer to Stonehenge over there. Some rocks. Let's get up ahead again. Very cool, Pete. Thank you for watching. Hope you sleep well. Should be a train coming through here any second. See, if I was smart, I would have written down the times for it through each station. Minchel Vernon. There's a vaguely interesting spot to watch the train from, behind a hedge. .8 miles to Crewe. Obviously not for my track. Whoop, train. Not a 101. We indeed, NJT. 5 miles to crew. We definitely need some more trains up this end of the route. Let's have a look at that form and see how the entries are going. Oh, we've got 3 responses now. 3 possible people who could get an Xbox key at the end of this stream. Let's see who it'll be. Oh, we going quick. And yes, I am leaving the regulator open while we brake to stop the safety valve popping off. You would not normally do that. Where can we watch the train from this time? That'll do. Ooh, flying cars. Where are you, train? There you are. It's the 159 mile marker. That would be miles. Is that miles from London? 159 miles, I guess. Could be. Well, I'm in the future. You're in the past, NJTE. You're yesterday. Because it's still Saturday for you, isn't it? It's Sunday for me. Very few stations this line. Ah, excellent. Can watch the train from the graveyard. This will be a good enough angle. After I've fixed the timings and I'm going to publish this, I will untick all the liveries so that people without them can still play it. I don't think you can disturb the dead. I don't think it's really possible. 1.7 miles to the sorting sidings. Let's open the regulator back up. We'll still start braking, because I have no doubt we're going to go through some violent track changes really soon now. Flying in through Crew. Well, I believe they do in JT. Just cruise through Crew a bit slowly. We're coming through here at 11:57, so I'll be able to stage some more trains at Crew. She's going as fast as the train. Was. Yeah, I'll have to account for that in JTE. Definitely. And the question is it going to do all the routing for me, or do I have to do some? Looks like that one's right. That one's okay. That's okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. Yeah, looks like it's doing all the routing for me. That'd be a cool thing for Scenario Planner. Tell it to randomly sprinkle stuff around the tracks that you aren't using. That would be good. Hello again, Chicago. You know, I'm thinking their missing engine shed is still a little bit missing somehow. It's got the walls now and the wires, but there's no roof. Needs a dog. Roof, roof. Why do trains screech around the corners? It's the wheel flanges rubbing on the track. So because there's no differential in the axle, one of them has to slide. Because one wheel's trying to travel faster than the other one. Now these sorts of wheels shouldn't screech as much. These ones would a bit, because they're a dish wheel even though they've got holes in them. But the spoked wheels really shouldn't do it. Alright then. Let's start slowing down for the final time. And there it is. How did I do at my own scenario? What do you reckon? No medal. Now I think, can I just walk up there? No. All right. We'll just leave that sitting there as our background. So, how'd we get? We've got 3 people to choose from. How am I going to choose between 3 different people? I can tell you now that they're all a bit younger, just by the wording and the way they answered the question. But that's okay. So I think what I'll have to do is I'll have to do a dice roll, maybe. Do a dice roll. Have I got a dice roll here? No, but I've got a Lego block. That'll do. So if it lands stud side up, the winner will be NJTE. If it lands stud side down, the winner will be Eliza. If it lands, or he could be Eliza, something like that. If it lands on its side, the one is Paul. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Ah, guess what, NJTE? You get an Xbox key. Excellent. I didn't say anything about writing stupidly. Is that you? It's Eliza. How about that? Well, I didn't even know you had an Xbox, Eliza. But NJT, guess what? You got that one. So that's pretty cool. Next week we'll be giving away a PlayStation key, so I will send you that key. It's up to you to figure out how to use it. Do you even have an Xbox, Chicago? I thought you had a PC. And I'm pretty sure you've got this route too. Already. Pretty sure you told me you bought it. But anyway, next week we'll be giving away a PlayStation key. Now, the key I've got is a non-US key, but if someone from the US wins it, that's fine, because I'm allowed to return the key and swap it for a US key. So it might be a little delay while I do that after the win, but I will send out to NJTE today. So you don't have the route, or you don't have a PC, Chicago? I thought you did have it. And do you play on PC or do you play on console? Cool. Alrighty. But anyway, that's it for this week. The other possibility, if I don't get any applicants for the PlayStation key, is I can swap it for an Xbox key, and then Mr. Second Guy here could get one. But anyway, all good. And we shall have another fun week. And I'll set this up so that the train timings are a bit better. And so maybe there's some more of them, because there are some more starting and stopping points that we could use. And you do play on PC, so the key wouldn't have been any good for you. I've got a PC key coming up too, you know, Chicago. Eliza, or Eliza? Eliza. Just teach me how to say it. But I have got a PC key coming up. So next week will be PlayStation key. Week after that will be a PC key. Or maybe I'll give them both away next week. We'll see, eh? Anyway, have fun, folks. That's been it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll get this scenario up onto Creators Club soon. Thanks a lot. Bye. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments, because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. And thanks for your ongoing support. And please,